Okay, well, welcome to the second episode of Above the Bridge podcast. We got our producer here, Boy Band John. What's up? So today's episode is gonna be with one of my best friends, somebody who means a lot to me. He one of my I would like to say a life coach, but he's just such a good person. He helps me become a better person. I cannot even start to bust out his resume. I'm gonna try, but he was in one of the biggest boy bands in the 80s, BBC and New Generation. He had his own record label, which was nominated for a Grammy for one of the projects he did. He owns his own roofing company. He was one of the founding members of Artist Groove Network. For me, he's just known as my brother. His name is Roni Yurong. What's up, Roni?
How's it?
How you been, man?
Been good. Very good. Very busy.
I know your roofing company is taking off. I've been around it and I see the work you guys put in, and it's been busy. Like how you like being a CEO owner of a roofing company?
Well, I'll start with this first. So when I first got into roofing, I always would wonder, because I mean, how many people got their roof fixed, right? So I remember asking my uncle, "Hey uncle, does a lot of people do their roofs?" He said, "Yeah, boy, I'll tell you something. Being a roofer is like being an undertaker. You're never gonna run out of dead bodies, and you're never gonna run out of roofs."
So it's a good job security then, huh?
Beyond COVID-19 or not, we are banging. Never stop. From the moment I got into this business, you got to do good work. If you do good work, then you can do good.
So that's the main thing. Like your company's kind of is based on the work that you guys do. So being that you have a good reputation, it's easy to get more jobs. But so because of COVID, you guys haven't been really haltered by it. You guys still can catch jobs and do work.
Absolutely. It didn't slow us down at all. In fact, even during the 2008 meltdown that we had, roofing was continuous. I do hear of other people that they slow down. But again, with anything in life, if you do a great job, then people are going to refer you and you're going to keep getting jobs. If you do a horrible job, you're going to have a short life.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, I had the opportunity to be around your guys' company, and I see what you guys do. I always trip like when you guys get to when I get to see you talk to like these big business owners. They're trying to get their business, and just having known you for a long time and then hearing you work with these super big money guys and people that really have a big say in what's going on, is like you're still the same person. You still talk to them like you would talk to me, or you would talk to anybody. It's you don't treat them above you, you don't treat them below you, you treat them like that's your friend. And because of that, I witness it. I see people just are drawn to you, how you are with your charisma and the person you are. I can understand why people are down to have you do their roofs. And it's kind of cool to see like how you become from different aspects and different jobs that you had to put it towards roofing, and it's working, man. Well, we didn't even say the name of your company. What's the name of your company?
ERS, Environmental Roofing Solutions.
And you guys always might see him on the commercials. Roni from Environmental Roofing Solutions, running around the roofs and smiling, huh? Every time my dad them see you on the TV, it's like Ronnie's on TV, and then like it's like, bruh, it's like, I see it all the time.
Movie star.
It's cool to see your success. Yeah, he's a movie star.
No.
It's cool to see your success, though.
I've actually had people tell me, "Hey, I like that. You got pep in your walk. You got pep in your step."
Yeah, but you always had that.
But actually, I put my foot down a little bit, and the roof was a little bit more steep, so I had a little.
Well, you ate it.
I wasn't close to eating it, but people remember that, so I left it.
That's kind of cool. Have you ever fallen off a roof?
David Silva.
Oh, really? Revolution Motorsports. You fell off his roof.
No, through.
Oh, you went through his roof.
Yeah, yeah. It was he when he got the house. I guess somebody faked it from the bottom. You couldn't tell. So when I walked on it, it just collapsed and I went right through.
So you end up in his living room.
No, it was on the eve. So I ended up
Oh,
on the ground right next to the, the, the saw.
oh, so what? Injuries?
You know, this is the funny thing. I popped up and I started running up the street. And all my
What?
what the heck? Whenever I feel great pain, I
You
run.
just run. Okay, so I'll remember that if I ever see you running, bro. He's hurt. He's hurt.
It takes away the pain.
I guess so. So how long you been running this company? Because you've been around for at least what a handful of years, huh?
Okay. The cool thing is I actually started roofing in 1980, end of 1986, summer, beginning 87. And, you know, how it all started too is I actually was in a group called the Human Dance Club.
Oh,
Right,
I kind of remember that.
Nito Lariosa. And,
Yeah.
and I'll be the only one with a car at the time. So I'll use my Torres roofing truck.
Oh, because you was working for Tori's Roofing.
Yeah. And I would pick up everybody and we'd go to practice at Wahiwa. And on the weekends, we'd go to the nightclubs and we'd, dance.
Battle.
Yeah. So I started
That's
way back then, but then I got out because, I got into music.
yeah. So then you opened your own roofing company like within the last 10 years? Less than 10 years, huh?
What happened is I went back to Torres Roofing in 2006 and I became a goal setter. I know people always talk about it and they read about it, but I actually applied it. And so I wrote a goal that I would start a world-class roofing company and I'll get my license by 2012. I wrote this in 2011. So in 2012, I went out and I took my tests, I got my license, and in 2013, I opened Environmental Roofing Solutions. So,
and it's been sky's the limit since, huh?
It's been amazing. It's been phenomenal.
I know. I'm trying to work with you guys.
But if we really want to get some detail, like it's because of I had a lot of failures, and I always talk to my boys. I'm very fortunate where I get to take my two sons to school every single morning, and it's the best thing ever.
You. Yep.
In our car rides, we have valuable conversations. We talk about taxes. We talk about attitude, and we talk about goals. We talk about, and so basically, it's all the things that brought me to where I am. So environmental roofing, yes, it's been very phenomenal, but it's because of all the experience that I've gathered since I graduated from high school. So when I graduated from high school, the first job I got was McDonald's. I remember.
Oh, yeah, I worked at McDonald's while I was in high school.
McDonald's, yeah, right next to
Arches, bro.
The funny thing is, when I got my job at McDonald's, I remember going to a parade with my friends and say, "Oh man, I'm not just gonna look at the window and wish I had that. I'm gonna be like, I'll take that, I'll take that, I'll take that." When I got my first check, I was like, I ain't taking nothing.
Yep. Yep. So, I worked McDonald's Kaneohe when I was a junior, and you want to know what happened? Like, to be honest, I hope my parents don't hear this, but I got fired for stealing chicken McNuggets. And now my daughter's in my room and just heard that. That's how I got fired from McDonald's.
6 piece. 6 piece.
No, it was like a 80 piece.
I didn't get fired. I just realized I actually ran into my friend's mom's car, rushing to work, and I was like, man, I'm gonna take forever to fix her car with this pay. So that's when I went to work for my uncle at Torrey's Roofing, and I started making really good money at a young age.
Well, I gotta tell you, I think I told you this story. The first time I've ever even heard of you, ever even knew about you, I hated you, bro. You were a big poster on my sister's bedroom wall.
Oh,
and I'm gonna tell everybody about it. Okay, so you were in this boy band back in, what was it, the 80s or early 90s?
It started about 88, 89, but it was the 90s. I would say 90s.
Yeah. So my little sister was a huge fan of you guys. You guys are called BBC, right?
God bless her.
Yo, so she was a fan of you guys, and at the time your guys' boy band was enormous. I cannot even explain how big you guys were, especially in Hawaii. Like you guys couldn't even walk the streets without getting mobbed. You were like the NSYNC of Hawaii, right? Like that's kind of,
you know, it's really funny because if you saw how we started, like this is the cool part. So we started off as a band called the Human Dance Club from Wahiawa. Everybody was from Wahiawa except for me and Peter Lansing. And we started off as Human Dance Club, and you guys heard of a guy named Matt Young?
Yeah, I know who that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Matt Young was throwing all of the hip concerts at the time. So he was going to bring in this group, and he was telling us that, oh, you guys are going to get smoked. You guys are going to get smoked by this group, this dance group. And they had Dr. Dre and remember JJ Fad?
Yeah.
Dr. Dre and JJ Fad were the judges at that statewide dance competition. And we actually won that competition. We won it big time. And after that dance competition, which had a lot of talented people in it, he actually approached us, and he asked us, would you guys be interested in being in a band called BBC? And we said, what is that? The Book Club.
It kind of was that. You guys are all Filipinos, huh?
No, it's not the Book Club. It's the Bad Boys Club.
You guys never looked that bad, though. You guys was all pretty. You guys was all handsome buggers.
Well, that was his name. So at first we said, oh, no ways we'd want to be in BBC. We're the Human Dance Club. And he said, well, you guys are going to open up for Trinier and The Cover and Sweet Sensation. And we said, really? And of course, it got our interest, and that's how it all started. Oh, cool.
Oh, shit. That's it right there.
Wow.
Oh, that's my sister's tape, bruh. She had the cassette. I had to listen to that every single day going to school. Bruh, was a nightmare. I was like, these guys, like my sister loved you guys. And we were, back in the day, they would have these huge concerts at this place called Castle Park. Do you remember Castle Park?
Oh my gosh, that was such a blast.
I wish they still had Castle Park, bro. That smokes the water park.
I agree. Kids would love it.
Oh yeah, my daughter would go crazy there. But they would have these huge concerts there, and you guys would be the headlining act. And I would have to bring my sister because I would have to go with her to the concerts. And like for me, I was into rock, and like I'm watching these bunch of guys dancing and
menudo, the Hawaiian menudo.
The Hawaii menudo. Yeah, exactly. But as soon as you guys got on stage, every single girl in the whole place just melted. And I was so like, why can these guys do that? Like, you guys are, and I never met you, you know what I mean? And I remember my sister got your autograph. What is that? I was a hater. Yes, I was a hater. Yeah, I wanted to be in BBC. I just couldn't sing or dance. But I just remember all the girls just like so in love with you guys. And my sister had an autograph picture from you, and I think it was Nito, right? Was it Nito?
Nito.
Yeah, she had it, and she had it on her wall, and I'm just like, bro, these guys is too much. But I just remember like how impactful your guys' music was. Like you guys were on like #1 on all the charts on the radio. What was it? Oh,
Heartaches and
what was
Heartbreak.
it? Yeah, Heartaches and Heartbreaks, and
It was actually, first of all, it was Make This Dream Real.
that's right. Make this
Dream Real.
You know what? I know the songs because I had to listen to it. It was good music. You know what I mean?
Guys.
Probably
But,
better music than what they're putting out now.
you know what was super cool was the evolution of that whole time. So again, we started off as the Human Dance Club, and we were one of the few people, and I had a lot to do with that. Nito was definitely the talent as far as dancing. He was just amazing. Besides, he was so amazing that he went on to be like Madonna's dancer for her world tour. Like,
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Dancer. He was just phenomenal. Nito choreographs tons and tons of movies right now. I mean, all the latest movies. He's a choreographer, a stuntman. He's just super talented. But going back to that, how it all started is, this is what's really cool. How I met Nito was we were break dancers when we were young. This is before BBC now.
Okay.
And so I taught myself how to do a backflip at the beach. And my mom saw me doing the backflip at the park and whatnot. And she said, man, you got some talent. So she enrolled me into gymnastics. I'm never going to forget.
Okay.
And I was so mad because I thought gymnasts was like, they wear tight pants. and they use like a girl bathing suit, under the tight.
You wasn't feeling the outfit.
No, and this is the thing that really got me is that the first day that I was supposed to go to Leeward Gymnastics, my cousin brought over the Wizard B-Boys. I don't know if you know, but the Wizard B-Boys were from Aya, and they were just amazing. So he brought them over to my house with some cardboard, and everybody's breakdancing, and my mom was like, come on, Ron, you got to go to gymnastics. But long story short, gymnastics is where I met Nito. He went gymnastics for the same reason. He wanted to learn how to backflip for his dancing.
Oh, that's how you guys' friendship spawned.
That's how we met. That's how our friendship spawned. We became brothers.
That's pretty awesome.
And from there, he actually he left Lelua. He came to school with me at a small school called Lanakila Baptist, and we became closer. And then later on, when he got kicked out, and he went back to Wahiwa, is when he formed UMen, and then the UMen became BBC. Yeah.
Oh man, that's a crazy turn of events. Like, and it's hard to explain to people now how big you guys were. Like, you guys were like huge. I had it transcend throughout United States, or was just locally, but locally you guys were rock stars.
It was pretty cool. Like the group in everyone's own way, we all had our talents. Like Freddie was the eldest, and he really could rock the drums. So we used his strength. Like Freddie would be on the drums, and then they would use Nito, me, for dancing. And we did a lot of acrobatics. And Maestro, his voice was just golden. He had such a golden voice. So whenever we went somewhere, we performed, even if people didn't fully know us at the time, we would win over crowds. Like we did Soul Train.
Really?
I'm never going to forget that. I got a video I can show you. Soul Train is not easy. And Wait,
the Soul Train, like on national TV?
Yes, with that guy.
Yeah.
We did Soul Train. And I'm never going to forget it. We were so worried because it's a hard crowd because it's Soul Train.
Yeah.
Soul Train.
Oh, that's awesome.
Everybody in there was like jamming, and the guy Cornelius. I remember when Minito did a synchronized flip, we almost hit him and he almost fall down. It was so cool.
Oh, you gotta show me that video. I definitely want to see that. Speaking of videos, you just posted one from your second boy band, right? New Generation, Sweet Okole, right?
No, it's the same one. So what happened?
It's the same.
When you're talking about us getting bigger, we actually got big enough and we made enough noise that the BBC, the British Broadcasting Company, they sent a letter to Matt and said that if we don't change our name, we're gonna get sued. So that's how we became.
I never knew that. So it was just a name change. It wasn't a different band.
Just a name change.
How was that? Did it kind of throw things off, or it was easy transition?
Yeah, it was an easy transition. Multiple things happened too. See, I guess I should. What was really cool is when we were the BBC, the New Generation, we actually got signed to Epic Records. Very cool.
Wow.
So Maurice Starr, he is the creator of New Edition and New Kids on the Block.
Oh wow.
So what happened? Oh, cool.
Hey, Patricia Ford right there. She's one of my kickboxing students.
No way.
Yeah. Try holding miss for her in a sports bra. I got hit in the face a couple times. Okay, go ahead with your story. Sorry.
So what happened is Matt Young, I remember this very clearly. I remember him coming to us and saying, who should I bring down? Will to Power or New Kids on the Block? And we said, New Kids on the Block. And when he brought New Kids on the Block, you talk about crazy. That was the very
That was to Hawaii.
To Hawaii. That changed life. So we already made like a huge name in Hawaii. And you know, it's so funny. We used to laugh at ourselves because you know we thought, to us we was like, this is so funny. We never took it serious. And a lot of people was in Guam, and the mall, we got surrounded, and our security couldn't keep the girls back, and they were busting through the security and grabbing us. And I remember pick off running. It was like, wow, he was running, and the limo was going, throw the door open, and we had to like run and jump inside.
That's like real rock star status.
It's some Beatles shit, huh? It's like the Beatles.
Yeah, you guys are like the Beatles.
That was really funny. But what changed our life was when New Kids on the Block came down, and we got to open for them. Maurice Starr signed us to his company, and he redid a couple songs, which is Make This Dream Real, Hugs and Kisses.
I remember those.
And even Heartaches and Heartbreaks. You know, Heartaches and Heartbreaks was originally supposed to be a rap song.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, you guys definitely had talent back then. You guys could have done whatever. You guys had rap, like kind of like R&B and then the whole boy band kind of thing. But you guys were diverse. It wasn't just something solid. You guys did it all. Except rock. You guys never did rock.
Hey, you never heard my Faceless album? Nah, just joking. But so that's what changed our life. When we got signed to Maurice Starr, he actually got us a record deal with Epic Records. So we went up to Rhode Island, East Coast, and we had to finish some tracks. And we lived in Boston for a little while. Boston, Massachusetts. Yeah, it was super cool, super cool. And but what happened is, at that moment when we were about to release our album, New Kids on the Block just blossomed and became the biggest band in the world.
Oh, and yeah, they were huge.
So because we were a boy band too, and they were signed to Columbia and we were signed to Epic, I think it was a conflict of interest. And so, so they kind of like held that record. And I remember Matt and our attorney, you know, trying to figure out what's going on. And they didn't want to put our record out. So what happened is we actually shopped that record and we got picked up by Warner Brother Records. So
wow,
we were able to
that's some big time companies.
Oh yeah, it was a crazy time. So we were done with Boston, and then we came back to Hawaii. We got signed to Warner Brother Records. They actually came down, and we had to perform for them in a warehouse.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was a warehouse, and these A&R record guys came down, and we had to perform for them in this warehouse. Never gonna forget it. And after that performance, they signed us. So cool, so exciting. And
that must have been a show then, huh? That performance must have killed.
we did our thing. We did our thing. And we got to move to California, and we lived in North Hollywood while we worked on our new album for Warner Brother Records, which is Sweet Cole.
Oh, okay. So you guys are living the dream, like the big times.
It was super, super exciting. We came from Hawaii and we went up to California and we started going out to the clubs to check it out. And it was just a completely different style and a different life. And I remember we immersed ourselves in it. And Nito, being the talent that he is, he went out and got agents independently. And he started doing auditions to be in other people's videos and also dancing in other people's videos. And a couple of times he took me with him and I actually got in a couple of videos. So,
which ones?
I actually played it on my Instagram.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
I got in Pretty in Pink, which is Shaka Khan. You know Shaka Khan?
Yeah.
Shaka Khan.
Everybody Shaka Khan.
Shaka Khan had a daughter, and she was a lead vocalist in that band, Pretty in Pink. So
okay.
I got to play the Asian girl's boyfriend. The thing is, I'm waving at a girl and I get in trouble. I get busted, and the girl I'm waving at is Fergie. So cool.
Oh, really?
It's Fergie.
That's crazy.
Before she's a big superstar.
Yeah.
She's doing the same thing we're doing, auditioning and being in people's videos.
Oh,
so if you
pretty
look at
awesome.
on Instagram, you can see me like look at a white girl.
I did see it, but I didn't realize what was going down. That's crazy.
That's cool. And I also got to be in Carmen Electra's video.
Oh, I remember her making music.
Yeah.
She was pretty hot back in the day. She was like the #1 chick back in the day, huh?
Yeah.
She was going out with Dennis Rodman and stuff, huh?
Well, at that time, she was with Prince.
Prince?
Yeah. So Prince was producing her record.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So after your boy band career, you kind of came back to Hawaii and was just, what happened after that?
So after the boy band thing happened, we actually were contracted to do another record. But I had a daughter.
Oh, okay.
My daughter Brittany, and I really missed a couple of years of her life. So I remember saying, I learned so much in the record business. I learned so much that I took what I had and I said, I'm going back home. So when I went back to Hawaii, I remember saying, oh, what am I going to do now? And believe it or not, I wrote it down and I said, I'm going to make a nightclub. And I wrote down, I'm going to make a nightclub. And within a year or so, I had the Rhythm House.
Rhythm House. I remember that.
Thanks to Alex. Alex was the first to believe in me. And well, actually, Michael. And
Alex and Michael Pellin.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to them.
Alex actually said, here, I'm going to invest. So, but that was, I went from that into nightclubs.
So Rhythm House, because you had two, right? Rhythm House came before Groove. You had the Groove also, right?
Yes. The Rhythm House was absolutely out of control. I mean, I don't know. Did you go?
No, I did go. Yeah.
Okay. That was just crazy. But so after the Rhythm House, the people who own the property, they approached me and asked me if I wanted to take over what was called After Dark at the time.
Okay.
And somebody wants to make an appearance.
Oh yeah, bring them in.
Come in, Echo. So they asked me if I want to take. Say hi to Uncle Thad. Yeah. Say to my little soccer star.
Sup, Echo?
Hello, Uncle Dad.
How are you doing? No, be shy.
I remember they asked me at the time it was called After Dark. You remember a place called After Dark?
I kind of remember the name.
It's kind of like really grungy.
Yeah, was that the one on Nimitz? They used to have punches or used to have real concerts over there.
Yes.
Victorian bands would come down,
After
right?
Dark. And I remember saying, oh, no way, man. Look like the devil lives in here. And they said, no, Ronnie, we can clean it up. We can clean it up. So I took it over and we cleaned it up and we actually called it The Groove. And The Groove was just, that was just the best.
I remember The Groove for sure.
The most concerts. I mean, we had Green Day. We had No Doubt. We had
remember.
9 Inch
Sublime.
Nails.
Yeah, you guys had Sublime.
LL Cool J. We had everybody. We had Teddy Riley, Changing Faces. It was just phenomenal.
And it was like Pipeline before Pipeline came out, huh?
It was before Pipeline. We had so remember $2 drink. What? $2 drink.
Yeah, exactly. I remember The Groove, man. That was a bunch of ruckus.
Is that the place where World Cafe was?
It was.
Yeah.
It was World Cafe.
It became World Cafe and Lavas, right? Volcanoes.
It was After Dark, and then I took it over and made it The Groove. And when I left The Groove, then it went to World Cafe.
I think it's a church now.
It's a church.
It's medical supplies.
Oh. Medical supply distribution. It's a warehouse.
Oh.
I know. It went.
Yeah, they had to tear that place down, change it up. Even Ocean got changed too. It's HPU now. It's part of HPU College.
Wow.
So from the Groove and the Rhythm House, that was your life. You're about the clubs, right? Like that was your thing, right? So what happened first? You started from the nightclubs that you own. You started promoting nightclubs, or you started a record label?
I did nightclub. I owned the nightclub from the Rhythm House. Then it went into the Groove, and what happened is when I had enough. It was a lot. There was a lot that I was dealing with, a lot, and I remember when I said, okay, I wasn't given all this talent for all this ruckus. And so Brother Lawrence told me, why don't you get back into music? And I thought about it. And so I kind of did a deal with Golden Voice at the time. Golden Voice was huge. Remember them? They did the big melody.
Yeah.
And so I kind of got out, and I bought a music studio. And I never forget it. And I actually went into making records. And from that, I mean, that was phenomenal. I don't know if you heard of the Hobo House on Hill Records.
Of course I have.
But we had tremendous amount of songs on the radio. And
well, you guys had a lot of artists signed to you, like big time guys, right? Like Fiji and Ilona Irvine. Didn't Iz even sing on your track?
Fiji wasn't signed. Fiji was signed to another record company. But we did songs together. He also recorded his record in my studio. So we had tons of artists. We worked with them all. But it was the one that I was able to put together the hottest bands at the moment on one record and called it Island Warriors.
I had that record.
Yeah, that's the one that got nominated for the Grammy in 2000.
So how was that feeling? Like getting nominated for the Grammy? That's like world renowned like status right there, and that's something you produce. So like what was your thought process? Like, okay, we got nominated for a Grammy. Like, was your hopes of winning? Like, were you like, we're not gonna win them? Like, what were you thinking? Of course, you like win them, kind of.
I want to share something before I get into that. Okay.
Okay.
This is super. I would always ask questions. I talk to myself a lot. Confirm that.
I know. Yeah, I know.
So I always have conversations with myself, and I always would laugh and wonder, like, what is my talent? What is my talent? Like, I thought Nito was such an incredible dancer. I could dance, but I wasn't Nito. And but the thing is, when I was in New Generation, I definitely wasn't a great singer, or I wasn't good as Nito. And then when you talk about the Grammy, when I started the record company, I'm a very different kind of producer. I don't play, when people would come to me, I would say, I'm a producer that plays everything without playing anything.
Try to explain that one.
So, and I worked with a really amazing producer named Ken Makuakani. And I remember him and John DeMello from Mountain
Okay,
Avenue.
I know him. Yeah, I heard of that guy. I met that guy before.
I remember them telling me that your strength, Ronnie, I'm never going to forget this, is that you don't know that you cannot do it. You know? And
yeah,
and I thought about that for a while. And so what I meant is when I produced a track, I remember when Ken Mukukani came in and he'd be playing the ukulele and I would just be like, he would do something and he'd whack the ukulele a certain way and I'd be like, what was that? And he was like, nothing, I just hit the ukulele. I said, I love that, do it again. And then he'd do it again and I said, I want that in the song. I want you to place it here. And, you know, just like even with everything that I did, I would tell my brother Lawrence, who's phenomenal as a producer and
oh yeah, Lawrence is awesome.
I would say, Lawrence, that bass doesn't sound right. And he'd be like, what do you mean? I said, we need like a fat snake crawling in the grass real slow. That's how it's gonna sound. And he'd be looking at me like, what the heck are you talking about? But I knew I always knew what I wanted. And if they played something, I would know if it was what I didn't want. So
you could kind of dissect the music without being able to play each actual instrument then.
Yeah, that's why I said I play everything without playing anything. Like
that makes sense.
So we would get a song that K.O. Wolford, phenomenal writer, would write a song and he would give it to me on a cassette recorder of him singing it and just making a beat with his mouth. And I would be like, oh, this song is perfect for this person. And then I would give it to them, tell them to study it. And then I would go downstairs with Ronnie Esteban and we would just come up with ideas of how we were gonna make the music. And you know, I just knew if it was right or if it wasn't right. I don't know how to explain it. And so that's how I could play everything without playing anything. But I knew what I wanted to hear. And
it worked. It worked.
I think that's my strength because I didn't play guitar. I didn't know that you shouldn't do it like that. I just know that I wanted a certain sound.
So that's how that's how you got the producer tag, right? Like you were putting the songs together and then releasing them. You had a lot of artists that went through your studio, right? And I don't know how many albums you put out, but that one Grammy one I did have. I remember having that album.
The cool thing about being a producer is this right here. It was never, I remember Chris Tarr, he worked with me and he asked me, Ronnie, how long can you keep making hits? And I'd be like, as long as get artists. And he's like, what do you mean? One thing about being a producer is it's not about you. It's about the artist. So I know it sounds cliche to say that, but what I mean by that is that you be around them and you just notice certain things and you just try to steer them to bring out the best, like a good coach. Like
yeah.
Jose Mourinho said this in soccer, which is called football. He said, I don't coach Ronaldo how to kick a ball. You know, he's a pro. He knows what he's doing. I teach him how to play on a team.
Oh, I get it.
So with musicians, they're so talented that they get in their own way. So
I see what you mean. Their heads.
Yeah, not always, but it happens with everybody. So it's about just bringing out the simplicity and making it work, you know? So as long as it was the artist that inspired me, and I also like to listen to a lot of music. So I would listen to music and I would remember certain things. And when I'd be working with certain artists, like, I don't know if you heard Ilona's song, I Want to Be Ira. It's such a great song.
Yeah. I know that song. Yeah.
Like, I remember that I was inspired by that one song. Ooh, baby.
Yeah.
You making me crazy, right? And I remember saying, damn, I want to do that with the ukulele. But I changed it up. And it just sounded so damn good. So for me, everything inspired me. Everything, it was like one kid in one candy store, for sure. Just everything inspired me. And it was just about putting the pieces together and making a hit.
So what happened like towards the ending of your record label? Like, cause you don't do that anymore, right? How did you get out of that business?
Okay, well, the cool one is this. Let me show you something. This is cool.
Oh, yup, that's super dope.
so I was very, very fortunate that that Mountain Apple John DeMello and is his wife actually allowed me to produce his music. What happened with that was so cool. I remember telling John DeMello, John, just give me his voice with no music and let me make music around it. He's like, really? Yeah, just give me his voice. So he took Starting All Over Again and he gave it to me. And I remember saying, Starting All Over Again kind of has that Hawaiian feel. And
yeah. At that time, that was big, huh?
And I said, this is like a legend. We cannot do Hawaiian. He gotta be like the Eagles. Okay? And he's like, what do you mean? I said, Eagles, just classic. And never will forget that day after I said that, I ran to Tower Records, Ala Moana, because my studio was at Ala Moana on Kona Street, right next to Science.
Yep. I've been there.
The Eagles, the live one, and the beginning of them playing the congas before Hotel California. I never will forget that. So I started humming, Starting All Over Again in that conga beat. And so me and Roni Esteban, we looked at each other, we were like, oh. And John DeMello gave us all these sounds that they sampled, like the rocks clamping together or hitting like the big ipus. And he gave it to us on a disc, real sampling, where they record the sounds. So we had all of the Hawaiian instruments. So we put it in our computer and we started hitting it like the conga, but was with the Hawaiian instruments. And then we sampled the voice in, his voice, and it fit perfect. And chicken skin. And so then for there, we just started with guitar. I wanted to do it really, really simple with just strings. And we just would ring the chord where they would just ring the chord with the pick and just let them vibrate. And wow, it just came out. So you gotta listen to it. Go listen to it.
So you produced that song?
Yes. It sounds.
I do know the song. Yeah.
Sounds like a Disney soundtrack, right?
Yeah. Yes, it does. Yep.
Like chanting in the middle, and then it builds up. It doesn't sound like it belongs in a Disney song.
Yes. Like Moana or something, huh?
So we did that, and John was so happy. And then he gave me Kaleo Hano. And I remember when I did Kaleo Hano, he was at the what do you call that? Where they have the concerts. The Shell. He was at the Shell because the brother Casimiro's was going to have May Day. And so he said, meet me at the Shell. So I rushed down to the Shell in my Honda and I had the CD in and I played him Kaleo Hano. I'm never going to forget this. And he actually cried. In the car. He's crying. And I was like, yes, we did good. So that I was like, oh, we're screwed. But he loved it. He loved it. And we put women harmonies all around him, which was never done that way. So it was such an exciting project. And then we did Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And you know the one, Mona Lisa.
Yes.
Mona Lisa. Yeah, we did that too. In the beginning, sounds like he's in an old record.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember that.
It opens up to like old Waikiki. Yeah, you guys.
Hearing you talk about music, I love it because I see that glow when you get passionate about something. I know that's your passion. No matter what you do in life, music will always be your passion. I've known that about you since I met you. You know what I mean?
Well, this is the thing that's so interesting. If my son Echo wasn't the little soccer phenom that he is, I really would be knee deep in a boy band. Now it's in my mantra. I wrote that.
Not performing, but
No,
producing a boy band.
I was going to be a producer like Marie Starr.
Yeah.
I was going to go find 5 kids from Hawaii that can really sing and really move, and I was going to put them together, and I have the name, everything, and I have this. We have everything to do it right now.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Keep that in your pocket.
I just put that on hold because
yeah.
my little superstar happened to be my son.
Okay, so that being said, I got to meet him yesterday. Well, I met him before, but I got to talk to him yesterday, and he's same age as my daughter, so it's kind of cool. Like I know that that age in life, and I've been watching him on your Instagram, and he has his own Instagram, and you ain't lying, man. This kid got some talent, like big time talent, like. I've seen kids that were good, and I taught martial arts, and I know when talent comes around, what kids have that it factor. He got something different, and I'm not just saying that because you're my friend and that's your son, but because if he didn't do that good, like I don't think he'd be where he's at right now because of how you pushing him. But it seems like he's self-driven.
I don't push him at all. It's who is it? We actually get into arguments because he feels that I don't schedule enough practices.
So he practices what? So now there's COVID, like he can't really play games on a team, right? So how does that work?
So what we did is we decided that when he couldn't play, of course we got super frustrated, but what I try to teach my kids, and it's a battle for me always too, is it's not about what happens, but what you're going to do about what happens. So we went deep where we actually went into heavy private training. He would train 5 to 7 days. At one point he was training 9 times a week, which is too much. So, but he trains extensively. And it's, I don't push him at all. It's 100% him. In fact, today he ran, I don't know how much miles, but he was moving. Right? I was kind of blown away how fast he was moving. And
so he's naturally talented, and as a teacher, when I taught martial arts, I could see which kids were naturally talented. So most kids that are naturally talented, they kind of take their skills for granted, and there were some outlier kids that were naturally talented that had the mind frame of a champion, and then put that work ethic behind their natural talent, and that's when a champion's born. I see that with him because he puts in the work, and he's naturally talented. Like I watch his videos. I mean, I always watch them. That you post them all the time. You cannot teach that skill set and become that kind of person and then have that actual work ethic behind it. Like that gotta come within yourself and from parenting. So I assume because of how you are, he's around that kind of mind frame and mindset that it already just became part of him, and now he's taking what he loves and what he's passionate about to the next level. And it's hard to explain because he's a kid, and you see it, right? You can't see most kids not gonna spend all their day trying to get better at a sport. Like they want to play video games, they go outside, play with their friends, but it's kind of cool to see his happiness and passion coincide with his goals. It's kind of cool to see at that young age.
Here's a really cool how it works out. His name is Echo, right? And What does ECHO stand for?
Wealth conscious generation.
Wealth conscious generation. So me and my wife Shannon had a talk, and we said, long story short, I was an entrepreneur. So when I met her, I was broke. You know that.
Yes, I do know that. We always broke.
And I changed that around. Every successful person makes tons of money and loses it all, and makes money again and loses it all. It's the best thing that can happen if you learn from your mistakes. So
for sure.
That being said, we decided his name was Shan came up with Lux, Goldilocks now. So and I came up with Echo, and basically it was, the story about you can give your son lunch, give him a fish, or you can teach them a fish.
Yeah.
We gave him the name Echo to teach them what helped us become successful, and what teach them wealth consciousness. And if we teach them about wealth consciousness, when he grows up, he'll teach his kids, and we're going to echo a wealth conscious generation instead of a poverty conscious generation.
That makes sense.
Poverty consciousness is, it's not my fault I lost my job. It's my boss's fault. It's not my fault that I'm late to work. My car broke down. Wealth consciousness is, who's the captain of the ship? Good life equals good attitude.
Good life.
Bad attitude.
Bad life.
Who's the captain of the ship?
I
am. So if your life is bad, then you made it bad. So you have to take 100% responsibility and be accountable. And that is what we teaching our kids. And that's what his name stands for. Echo is for wealth conscious generation. Or now that he's a little soccer phenom, every champion will echo through history, through time.
That makes sense.
Yep.
They won't forget his name even after.
Yeah, go get. So when he was 6 years old, I brought him I brought both of my sons separately to Starbucks, and in his book he wrote down that he wanted to be a pro soccer phenom, and he wanted to go to the World Cup, score a hat trick, and help win the World Cup for his team. And I have it right here.
Oh, that's super. That's proof, bruh. That's gonna be worth money one day.
Got the date on it. See the date?
Oh, that's awesome.
So when he did that, I remember telling Shannon, hey, our son is serious. And we already could tell he had a little talent. And so we knew we had to take it to the next step and get more training for him. And that's how it started. And it's been amazing.
And he's been getting looked at nationally, internationally by big soccer companies and stuff like that.
I wouldn't say soccer companies because I don't think there's a soccer company, but individuals. Yeah.
That's awesome.
If you do, we're speaking to everyone. If you do your best, you always do your best. Nothing can go wrong. For instance, if you work at McDonald's and the richest people in the world, okay, started off as a grocery bagger and immigrants who would pack groceries, but they were so appreciative to have a job that they would pack that groceries the best that they could. And guess what? They wouldn't miss work, and they would go above and beyond. And the people who ran the grocery store said, you know what? I want to move you up to cashier. And they became the best cashiers. And next thing you know, they own their own grocery store. So if you always do your best, if your employer, if your coach doesn't recognize it, somebody will. So do your best for you. Don't do it for your boss or your coach. You do your best for you.
That makes sense. And that's kind of what our new generation is lacking. They don't take pride in what their work. And what I've noticed, traveling in Japan, they have that mindset. If you're the guy cleaning toilets. Their mindset is, I'm gonna be the best toilet cleaner ever. Their toilet's gonna be spotless, lad. In America, their mindset is, oh, I gotta do this job. I just like do them, get them over with. It's
Yes.
their mindset becomes their life, their how their personality is. You're right though. If you everything you do it to your best of ability, no matter what it is, it's gonna shine. And you're right. People gonna take notice, and if it doesn't, like, you still bettering yourself. So that kind of makes sense to me.
The best thing you can do for the world is to become the best that you can be. That's how you change the world. You change the world by changing yourself. And so, like, even with my son, we always talk about practice. If you're gonna practice half-ass, you can be half-ass in a game.
Yeah.
You gotta do whatever you do with sincerity in order to become better.
That's exactly what I would tell my students when I was teaching. It wasn't like people would say practice makes perfect. That's not correct. Perfect practice makes perfect. You can practice something wrong 1,000,000 times and do them junk. It ain't gonna make you perfect. You gotta practice perfect to be perfect.
Right.
100%. But he's been killing it. And what is that? Go ahead.
I would like to expunge on that word perfect.
Okay.
Okay. I love it. Because most of us use the word perfect in the wrong way. Okay. What I mean by that is we think of perfect like a Ken doll, right? A Barbie and a Ken doll, because it's not alive. Okay. Perfect is constant evolution, constant growth. That's perfection. You cannot, perfect is alive. So it constantly grows. You know, that's what perfect is, when you're constantly growing. If you're not growing, then you're being stagnant. And when you're stagnant, that's when you start to die. So we use the word perfect.
That's
like,
true.
oh, I know I'm not perfect. If you constantly trying to be better, if you do something wrong and you ask for forgiveness and you man up to it, why are you not being perfect? Perfect is to constantly grow, to fail.
You're right.
Failing. What is failing?
Stepping stone to success.
Stepping stones to success. You have to fail
To succeed.
to succeed. If you're not failing,
You're not living.
you're not living. That's simple.
Oh, I get choked stepping stones then. I'm ready for succeed.
But many, and this is poverty consciousness, do not learn.
That's
If you're
true.
not learning from your failures, and nobody's better than nobody. So just because somebody's living the dream and being successful, it doesn't make you a better person. It's just you're better at what you're doing. You know, and if somebody chooses to keep being a loser, then it's their life, their movie, more power. Just focus on what you can do. But if you want to be the best that you want to become, then you have to do everything with sincerity and be accountable.
That's very good advice, and that's something that I definitely take heart to. And it's hard to just focus on your own self. You know what I mean? I'm always like worried about other stuff. Like, but when I do just focus on myself, that's when I'm the most happiest.
I got something to say about that. A lot of people say it's hard. It's hard because we don't change our habits. If you want to be a certain way, and it's such a cliche because everybody says it, but saying it, I love the saying, you can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make them drink. Such a great saying.
Yeah, but you can put peanut butter in their mouth and then make them want to eat and then drink.
You gotta the biggest thing about changing is you gotta take an audit of who you hang around with.
Oh yes.
You cannot change
100%.
if you're gonna hang around the same scene that you in right now.
Yeah, I definitely had this talk with Hoppa Boy, like,
and people get really offended by that.
yeah.
And it doesn't mean that you think you're better. It just means that I'm choosing, in order for me to break this habit, I need to be around this type of people. Because
100%.
if you want to be a champion fighter, you're not going to hang around all the loser fighters.
Yo. I just had this talk with Hoppa Boy. Like, before me personally, I've been around not scrubs or anything like that. It's just people that suck my energy or just not good vibes. And I realized, like, I spend so much time giving myself to these people, and I realized, like, I gotta cut my circle smaller and help and be around with people that I can elevate, that's gonna elevate me, not dragging dead weight, you know, kind of like it becomes where, like, that's why I work with you guys. Like, I come into your office on my days off just to be around the positive energy you and Frank have, and it rubs off. It's infectious. So, just like negative energy, positive energy and negative energy can be just as infectious either way, you know what I mean?
This is my big boy Uriah.
Hello.
What's up, man?
I'm good.
Just showing my family. This is going to be the natural salesman right here.
Yep.
But you know, I would like to say something about that too, but real quick. You know, if you're in that situation where people is sucking your energy, think about this. It's you're in that because that's the vibration you're in. We always look at around the people, but you in the relationship. If you're in a relationship that you don't like, it's because your vibration is attracting that relationship. So in order to get out of that relationship or attract a certain type of relationship, I'm just talking about anything. That don't have to be like loving, it can be like friendships or anything. Then you have to change your vibration. And that's the hardest thing.
That's true.
The hardest thing.
So like, okay, let me ask you this. You inspired a lot of people, myself included, and a lot of your friends and your kids, but I want to know what inspires you. Like, what inspires you to do what you do? Like, what gets you going?
Okay. What inspires me? Okay. That's simple. Life. You know the word grandeur?
Yeah.
Life is
No, wait. I don't know that word.
is a grandeur. Like, it's
Sounds like Harry Potter shit.
I was gonna say the same things. Like, what is that word?
Yeah, tell me what that word means.
Grandeur. Look it up. It's just life is a grandeur. Like, it's it's so amazing that we have the opportunity to be alive. That's what excites me. And I think about that all the time. People always ask me, Ronnie, why are you so excited? Because I'm alive. Because I'm alive. Like, how can you not be excited? And you have the opportunity to, you Thaddeus. You are pure potential. Pure potential.
Well, you always told me that from back in when I first started working with AGN.
And when I tell people you get potential, they actually think like, oh wow, Ronnie, that's not funny. You have potential. And that potential is raw energy that can be directed into anything that you desire. Raw energy.
That's true.
You are a walking antenna of power. Let me explain. Wherever you get up and walk, you are an antenna of power. You can pick something up and move it from one place to the other place. You can put your concentration on something, and it all revolves around you. In other words, the funny saying is this: people always say, it's not all about you, and I say it is all about me. If I'm living today, it's all about me, because if I was dead, it wouldn't be nothing about me. So
That's
when
true.
people say that, they don't know what they're talking about. This life is all about you. Life
You're right.
revolves on you, Thaddeus.
My life does, at least.
Yes. No, everybody's life revolves around them. We are the center of the universe. Wherever you are, you're the center of the universe. Wherever I am, I'm the center of the universe.
So that's where you get your inspiration from.
Just, yes, 100%. Like just the gift of life. The gift of life makes me excited.
That's probably the best answer I ever heard.
I mean, damn, we can get up tomorrow and we can come up with an idea and we can work on it, and we can use our energy to build something, or we can use our energy to destroy something. It's a powerful.
That is true.
Yeah, that's powerful. How can you not be excited?
I'm excited, man. And to be honest, like it took a while for me to get excited about life again. I've been kind of in a slump, and maybe like the past couple months, I got my fire back, and I know a lot has to do with I've been communicating with you a lot more, and being around Frankie and talking with Hopper Boy is definitely put me in a better spot. Like going back to what you said, you surround yourself with good people. It brings out a better person in you, or makes you want to be a better person.
If I can present something to your listeners out there, and I thought about this a lot, and it's super cool. It really is, and it showed me something. I kind of brought it up a little bit before. When I was in Human Dance Club, I never considered me the best dancer, but we won every single dance competition that we entered. Okay, cool. When I was in BBC, I never considered myself a great singer, but we got signed to Epic Records, and we got signed to Warner Brother Records, and we did some pretty phenomenal things. When I decided to open up a nightclub, I had $600 to my name. And I remember being told, how the heck are you gonna have a nightclub? You don't have enough money to do a nightclub. And I never gonna forget this. I said, I don't need the money. I just need to have the will to have it. And from that, the Rhythm House was created. And I never knew how to play an instrument. We got nominated for a Grammy. It never really hit me until we actually got out. And you because you have to ride the limo and they open it and it's the red carpet. And you have to walk on that red carpet real long. And everybody's taking pictures and they're calling out all kinds of questions to you. And it's like, what the heck? Like that's when I really realized that this is so cool.
Yeah.
But I didn't really feel it when John DiMello told me that we got nominated too, until that door opened and we had to walk on that carpet. It was surreal. But back to the point. I don't know how to play an instrument, but I got nominated as a music producer for a Grammy. And I remember we had Jamaica calling us, choke radio stations, because we were the first Americans to get nominated for reggae. You know that? We got
That's
into
crazy.
Magazines because we're the first Americans to get nominated for Grammy reggae category. So I was getting like radio interviews with all kinds of Jamaica stations. It was so cool. And then to roofing, having the roofing company that we do. So it just goes to show that you can do anything. You hear people say, you can do anything you put your mind to, but you gotta back it up with action.
That's the truth, bro. And I mean, like for me to start this podcast, it was a dream I had for a long time. And I had to basically I had to shut my mouth and do the work, because I could talk about it as many times as I want. Only until I started doing physical work, then it became a dream that was gonna be real.
And you look, my 6-year-old son. What they learn is it's a dream until you put it on paper. And
That's true.
I'll explain this real cool. And tell me if you get it or if you don't, because a lot of people don't get it. When you close your eyes, it's just black, right?
Yeah.
So you're connected to space. space is so much grander than form. If you think about it, all of the planets is floating in space. Okay? So space is much grander. Just like the ocean is much grander than land, right? When you close your eyes, in your head, you're attached to, connected to that grandness of space. So your ideas is floating around in space. So you're just a dreamer. But when you take your pencil or your pen and you write them on paper, which is material form, you actually took that dream and you put it into material form. So now it becomes a goal. It's tangible. You can see it. You wrote it.
I get it.
Floating in space. Okay.
Well, do you remember back in the day we went to Starbucks and you told me the same thing?
Yeah.
And I have my notebook and it said I wanted to make my own podcast, and I have it. I have it somewhere, but I definitely wrote it down. And so I definitely get what you're saying. I definitely believe in that concept.
It's the biggest life changer. You write down your goal and you write down a date on when you're going to accomplish that goal. So here, when you go to build a house, you have a blueprint, right?
Yep.
And you follow that blueprint and the house is built fast, right? Pretty fast to build it. Okay. When you have a blueprint, when you write down your goal and you write down paragraphs on how you intend to accomplish that goal, that's your blueprint. So you get up in the morning, you read your blueprint, and you make sure every day you do X amount of things on your blueprint to bring that goal to fruition.
That makes sense.
It's going to be that much faster, like building one house.
Yep.
We just lazy.
All right. Well, we've been going for a while. It's almost an hour and a half. We got to kind of start tapering down. Let's see. We have our question of the week. So what, Boy Band John, what's the question of the week?
Yo, so Ronnie, question is, what are your 3 favorite jobs you've ever had?
You want to answer first or you want me to answer first?
3 favorite jobs.
Yep.
You know, it sounds so foreign when you say jobs, but okay. So definitely, being in BBC, The New Generation, by far. That was one of the best jobs ever. Creating and operating the nightclubs, which, by the way, I actually had 2, but I invested into a 3rd one, but we got shut down from the old folks home, and we threw a big party and the old folks home complained and we wasn't going to be able to get our liquor license. So the nightclubs was definitely a big one, and my record company and my roofing company. all of them has been my favorite jobs.
Okay, so for me, my 3 favorite jobs, the first one would be, and they don't have this anymore, but I used to work as a gas station attendant in Kaneohe. And by far, that was one of my favorite jobs because it was just me and my friends like working at the gas station, and everybody in Kaneohe would come and hang out with us throughout the day. And at the time, I was like just out of high school or in high school, coming out of high school. And I was around vehicles and everybody used to come hang out. So that was one of my favorite jobs.
That's an awesome job.
Yeah, that was an awesome job, especially that age. My second favorite job would probably be, let me think. I would probably say where I'm at now at the Cancer Research Center. I love what I do there. I work with super awesome people. My supervisors, like one of the best people I know. That's probably one of my second favorite. And my third favorite job would probably have been, other than promoting, like a hard tangible job would probably be teaching Taekwondo. When I got to teach the kids, to me that was very gratifying to watch their success. So putting time and effort into a kid and watching their success, that was like one of my favorite jobs. So that'd be my 3.
You might have to, go ahead.
What is that?
Can you tell us the Patricia Ford story? You have a Patricia Ford story?
Who, me or him?
You.
Me? Well, she used to take private lessons from where I was teaching kickboxing, and my master would do the private lessons, but sometimes he couldn't, so I would get to. And she'd be in a sports bra, and I'm holding mitts for her, and like, bruh, try do that with the hottest chick I ever met at the time, trying to catch punches for her in a sports bra. Like, granted, I did get hit in the face a couple times.
She's a really nice person.
Yeah, she is super nice. She's definitely super nice. But all right, man. Well, let's wrap it up. I want to shout out your son's Instagram page because I want everybody to go check it out. It's Echo_Yurong. And you need to see what this kid is doing because he is action. Yup, you little man, you get action. And I'm keeping my daughter away from you because you're a little handsome bugger. So I got 2 reasons why my daughter can't be around him. 1, because it can't throw off his soccer and his aspirations of being the best soccer player. 2, my daughter can't talk to no dudes until she's 30. That's just how it gotta be. So I'll come to your soccer games, but I'm not bringing my daughter. So Echo_Yurong. Go check it out on Instagram, and you're gonna be blown away.
They're gonna spell it wrong. It's EKCO.
Okay, try it one more time.
EKCO_YURONG.
Okay, and then of course Roni Yurong Jr. Instagram. And what's your the roofing? If you guys want, if anybody out there needs to get their roofs done, by far this is the best company. They stand by their work, and I've seen it firsthand. What's the website they can go check you out?
ERS-Hawaii.com. That's E for environmental, R for roofing, S for solutions, at ERS-HAWAII.com.
All right, man. Well, this has been super awesome, and I gotta tell you straight up, like you have accomplished a lot. I've seen you do a lot of things, but I'm gonna be honest with you. The greatest thing I've ever seen you do, and I was blessed to be there, was to watch you marry Shannon. And I knew that was probably the best thing you've ever done. And in my heart, I know that's the most awesomest thing I've seen you done in life. And you inspire me to be a better person. And I've known you for years. And I mean, you and I, we got to do another episode because we didn't even get into the Artist Groove Network stuff. And we never even get into like the craziness. But I appreciate
Shannon put that in a black hole.
Yup, that's true, bro. She did. That's why I say you marrying her was the single most biggest thing you did for your life that I could see such positive things from. And I'm glad I was there. I was there when that happened.
I'm glad.
And not many people were. It's just me, Peter, and Lawrence, huh?
And Brittany.
Yeah, and Brittany. Yep. But I appreciate you, my brother, and I'm very happy that you came. I knew I wanted you on my show because what you just said, I know it's gonna inspire somebody because you're an awesome person, bro. And I appreciate you, and I love you, bro.
Thank you. I love you.
Okay, man. You can follow us on Above the Bridge podcast on Instagram. Our YouTube, Boyband John edits all our videos, and he's very, very good at it. You guys gotta check it out.
I like his name, Boyband John. Where did he get that from?
I don't know. Because he wanted to be you back in the day.
Yeah, I wanted to sing Sweet Akole.
So check out our YouTube videos, Above the Bridge Pod, and visit us on the web at atbpod.com. That's atbpod.com. I guess that's it, man. Of course, as always, shout out to the Artist Groove Network.
Right on. Thanks, guys.
Aloha.
Aloha.
always, shout out to Defend Hawaii for keeping me in fresh gear as always. Thank you very much. Chris Meheula.